the hunt for a cure for COVID. It appears that that a vaccine is just around the corner. Shobana Kamineni, the Executive Vice Chairperson of Apollo Hospitals, joins us now. Ms. Kamineni, look, it's going to be what, just a couple of months before we have a vaccine in place. There may be more than one vaccine in place. How soon before people are actually inoculated with this vaccine?
So, Vishnu, I think that we have to appreciate that the world has come together really fast in a response. What would normally take between 5 to 15 years has taken place within a year. And I think that phase 3 for at least 3 of the candidates are already, out there. So India has to take a decision. We are moving very fast with the Bharat Biotech, our own indigenous vaccine, but the AstraZeneca will probably be the one which is produced in the greatest quantities in our country, just because Serum is the largest vaccine manufacturer in the world. And then, of course, we have other capabilities that there's Zydus Cadila, there's biologically, and there's some more candidates. Dr. Reddy's is bringing in the Sputnik, which just yesterday showed some fairly good results. So I think that, and this is just one in at least 50 out there. So the big challenge is, how are we going to get it out there
precisely
for the people? And we're waiting. The government has actually looked at it from many angles. All of us have represented to them. We've made presentations. There is a high-level committee in the government that has taken, 360
views,
feedback from everyone, views. And so I think that coming to that, one is we already know the criteria of who will get it first. India's vaccine capability in 2 to 8 degrees is actually really good. Mm-hmm. So we do have enough capability for vaccines, not just, Apollo Hospital, what I announced that we have the 2 to 8 degrees, we can do 1 million doses a day, but India has the capacity to deliver 1 billion doses. It's just when you get to the higher, when you get like to a -16 of a Sputnik, or if you get like a Moderna, which we don't have access to yet, or a Pfizer, which is the most challenging, I think those vaccines are a little further away.
But Ms. Kamineni, let me ask you something specific. You had mentioned to me some time back that the Apollo group would be in a position, using your existing facilities, to inoculate, to administer the drug on any number of people. Is that something you have now refined? You have now refined and you're ready to implement?
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
So for us, as we speak, we've done an extremely detailed mapping of our capabilities. So we have the supply chain, again, through one of our affiliates. And at any given time, we have the capability to store 12 million doses in about 14 centers around the country. And that basically means that we can serve at least 80% of India, that we can get the dose to them within a 48-hour period. And this is between 2 to 8 degrees, and this is 12 million doses. So at any given time, so if you keep the cycle that, as it moves out and you keep refilling, so we should definitely be able to cope with at least 1 million doses a day.
But who would get these doses? Are you talking about doses for, people who are willing to buy it at whatever it is? In the case of AstraZeneca, about 2,000 for 2 doses. Or are you talking about what the government would provide? I mean, I'm trying to understand who you would store the drugs for.
So are we.
Okay.
We do want to, it's there for the country. Right. So if the government wants to take this facility, like at this time, no one is going to stop. This is a national interest. So whether it means, taking, that they tell us, instruct us saying This is a national imperative. Everybody is free. Just use your capacity for the next 3-4 months, and let's get it out there into the first. That's possible. I don't think that long term. Now, whether this actually makes complete sense to me, I don't really understand that bigger picture, because I feel that why would we waste national exchequer when there are millions of Indians, and it's 1,000 rupees, I think, for 2 doses.
Right.
And
yes.
Those, So this is something that many people can afford. They're spending that much more on testing, and just imagine this is a cure. So why are we wasting national resources when people can actually pay 1,000 rupees, and now there are vaccines that can even come in cheaper?
No, I think lots of important points, ma'am, that you mentioned. I'm out of time, but I think the big takeaway is that you have the facilities for India to use to store these vaccines, and from where it can be administered. The cost, whether it's government, whether it's private, it's the same drug, and you can store it for use across the country, right? That's the key point. That's a big takeaway, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Shobana Kamineni. Pleasure speaking to you as always.